Good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining. Sunil here. Can you hear me? Please confirm in the chat box. Thank you, Suraj. Thank you, Rahman. Thank you for joining. Thank you, Srinivas. Okay. So let's stop the chat. Okay. So we have to discuss few more points related to Git. This is our plan for our today's session. This is our plan for our today's session. How to selectively pick up the commits from the child branch. We have to know that. What is the need for a Git amend feature, which is very, very important. How can we go back to the previous versions of the source code? As we know, Git is version controlling tool. So let's experience how can you go back to the previous versions of the source code. And then we'll also discuss about a remote repository of Git that's called as a GitHub. So these are the points to be discussed in our today's session. So before getting on, let's have a quick questionnaire starting with Baba Tunde. Good morning. How are you doing?
Good morning. How are you?
I am good. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well. I'm doing very well.
Thank you very much. Yes, your question, please.
Oh, am I raising my hand?
Yes, your hand is raised.
Oh, my bad. I was
Okay.
accident.
Okay. No problem. Okay. Thank you for joining. Yeah. Hi, Sujata.
Good evening, Sunil.
Good evening. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Thank you. How are you?
Doing well. Thank you, Sujata. Yes, your question.
Actually, that is need a clarification.
Mhm.
We have a command called dot git ignore.
That's a file. It's
So
not a command. It's a dot git ignore
sorry,
is a file name.
it's a file name. So we can move some unwanted files or else some important files into the git ignore
Not
file.
important files, unwanted files.
Sorry, unwanted files. See what is the use of if we want to move those files into local repository. So the as the process is the same, like
Okay.
git add space
Yeah.
dot and then commit, that is it.
Any file you want to move it into local repository,
Hmm.
whether it is source code or any other files,
Any other
the
files. The
process is the
process is
same.
same. Hmm.
But as per the concept,
Okay.
the local repository should have only the source code.
Okay.
We should move only the
Source.
source code to staging area. From the staging area, you need to move only the source code to the local repository. For example, the example what I have discussed, Sujata, in case of Java technology, we have dot class files, isn't it?
Yeah,
Dot
correct.
class files is not part of source code, so we should not move it.
Ah,
We
you
should
got
only
it.
move the, as per Git, we should only move the pure source code into the local repository. Okay. From the
Oh,
local repository, today I'll be introducing you
remote.
something called remote repository, where we'll upload the code. We'll push the code into the remote repository. So the complete source code of the entire project will be available. From there, we compile the files again using the build tool. Okay. So that's
Version
how all the
control is
class files.
one thing. Version control is happening in user level, local repository
You
in
are
the
right.
local repository.
You are right. Okay. How
Yeah.
it happens, I'll show you in today's session. Okay.
Oh, that's all, Sunil. Thank you.
Thank you. How's your practice going on? Are you
It's
able to
going good.
understand the
Yeah,
concepts?
yeah, yeah. It's good. It's going on
Thank
good.
you, Sujata.
Thanks, Sunil.
Azam,
Good evening, sir.
good evening, Azam. You're from which location?
I'm from Delhi, sir.
Delhi.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yes, your
Sir,
question.
I have a confusion in Git branching.
Mhm.
See,
Yes.
we suppose we have master branch, that's by default, okay,
Yes.
and we create a branch like test, okay. So we get all data replicated in branch,
Sorry,
test
sorry.
branch.
What
We
did
get
you say?
we get all data of master in test branch, right?
Not all.
Master
One
branch
minute,
data.
1 minute, 1 minute. Listen. 1 minute.
Yes.
This is master branch.
Yes,
Hmm?
sir. Mhm.
So here the master branch will contain some source code related to particular functionality.
Yes,
When
sir.
a client gives a requirement related to new functionality, it's a good practice to create a new
New branch.
branch. Okay. And then in the branch, in the new branch, he's creating some files. Okay.
Yes,
Now
sir.
again, client got a requirement to work on the first functionality.
Mhm.
Awesome. When client wants to give work on first functionality, again, what the developer will do, developer will switch to the
Master branch.
master branch.
Yes,
So
sir.
this file does not belong to child branch.
No, no. When at the time when you create
At the
next
time
branch,
when you're creating a new branch, the commit history will be copied into the new branch. That means all the files which are belonging to the parent branch will be
created
copied
in
into the new branch, because that's the concept, because there can be dependency. The previous code may have a dependency. That's the reason. That's how when a branch gets created, it gets copied.
yeah,
Okay.
I understood
It
this,
doesn't
sir.
mean that all the files will be copied. For example, all the files which are created after creating the branch,
After creating that will
those
be not
files will
copied.
not be part of the child branch, isn't it, Azam?
Yes, yes, sir.
Yes,
So
you're right.
one more thing I want to know.
Mhm.
So suppose I created a file in test branch, right?
You have created a file in test branch, right?
Test
Yes.
branch. I add this file in staging area,
Okay. From
right?
the staging area, we move it into the local repository.
Yeah, we moved that file to local repository, but I didn't move in local repository. I
If
switched
you
in
don't
master.
move it, no. If you don't see, your question is, you have created a file. By default, it is a untracked file.
Yes, sir.
As per the concept, every file should be moved it into the.
Local repository.
There should not be any file without moving into local repository. Okay.
But
There,
actually,
if
yesterday I tried.
there
Uh,
should not be any file which is not moved into local repository. When the developer completes his developmental activity, the
mhm,
source code should be moved it into the local
Local repository.
repository. If you want to move it into local repository, then only move it into staging area. So
Mhm.
there will never happens that developer moves into staging area and then stops. The developers moves in. Why he moves into staging area? Immediately next second, that file should be available into the local repository. Staging area is only temporary. Okay. There is no case where file is moved into staging area and then not moved into local repository. Every file should be moved into the local repository as well. Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Did I answer your question?
Yeah, yeah. Thank you, sir. Thank you. So basically, local repository is
It should have the
individual.
source code created by the developer.
Yes.
When the local repository is not having the source code created by the developer, that means he has not created the source code.
Sir, one thing, so local repository for every branch is individual, but a staging area
No,
and
local repository.
local repository for every branch is individual,
No,
right?
there's no there. Let's for example, we have two branches, Azam. One is master branch, the other one is test branch. Are there any two local repositories? No, it's not specific to branch. Local repository is specific to one particular machine. That's it. It's not
Okay,
specific to branch. Okay.
okay, okay, sir. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Sir.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. That's it.
Before moving on, let's have one interaction. Nekwa. Can
Hi,
you hear me?
Sonia. Good morning. Greetings from Canada.
How are you?
I'm good. Thank you. Just a quick question. Sonia, how many pipelines are we going to build in DevOps?
Sorry. How many?
Yes.
Repeat your question.
I said, how many pipelines are we going to build in this program? Second question is, are we going to use only native AWS native tools, or we are going to use third party also?
We are not going to use AWS native tool. We'll be using completely DevOps tools. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Got it. And you coming to how many pipelines? It's not how many pipelines, how many types of pipelines. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Which we'll be discussing the freestyle approach as well as scripted pipeline. So these are the two options we'll be discussing, not in this Git tool. We'll be discussing those pipelines concept is related to Jenkins. When we start Jenkins, at that point of time, I will address the concept of pipelines. Got it?
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Perfect. Okay. I want to start with explaining you how to selectively pick up the commits from the child branch. Okay, this is in continuation to the discussion we had in a previous session. We have master branch. Master branch will have few commits. Let's say A commit as well as B commit, and there will be a child branch. Sorry, there will be a child branch. Child branch will have some n number of commits. Let's say my plan is to create some 3 commits: C commit, D commit, as well as E commit. Now, what happens? Look at this. Look at this. What happens when you merge the child branch to its parent branch? What happens when you merge the child branch to its parent branch? The commits will be added. That's one approach in the linear fashion. That is by using concept of merge. When you perform rebase and merge, okay, all the commits which are belonging in the child branch will be added on top of the master. But the point is, developer do not want all the commits to be added to master branch. He wants to selectively pick up only few commits. Let's say he wants to pick up, there are 3 commits in this child branch. He wants to selectively pick up the first commit from the child branch and then the last commit from the child branch, and he wants to add it to the master. When he wants to selectively pick up the commits from the child branch and add it to the master, in such case we go for the concept of cherry pick feature. The concept of cherry pick feature is used when developer wants to pick up some commits, not all the source code, few source code specific to a particular task. He wants to add it to the master branch. That is possible by using the concept of cherry pick feature. So I will explain you how exactly cherry pick feature helps to pick up the commits which are belonging in the child branch and add it to the master. Not all the commits, selectively picking up some commits and adding it to the master. That's what I want to showcase in this cherry pick feature example. So let's move on. Let's first create a master branch. Let's create some commits, a commit as usual, a commit as well as a B commit, and then let's go for C commit and D commit as well as E commit and F commit. So this is the commit sequence which I want to follow. And then I'll explain you how exactly we use cherry pick feature to pick up the commits from the child branch and add it to the master. So let's experience this. So somewhere in my F drive, I create a same as usual. I create a folder with the name project. I open my terminal. I have created a master branch. Let's create some files, A commit and one more file, B commit. Let's complete the master branch. Touch F1. It's an untracked file. Git add dot to move it into staging area. Git commit -m A commit. Touch F2. Git add dot git commit -m, creating a B commit. Okay. Now developer wants to work with a new functionality, so he creates a new branch as usual. This is nothing special. We already have done this in the previous session. A new branch gets created. The name of the branch is test. Git checkout will help you to move from one branch to other branch. I am moving to test branch now. I create a file, let's say T1. File got created. Git add dot, I move it into staging area. Git commit -m. I am creating a third commit called as C commit. Touch T2. Git add dot git commit -m. D commit. Touch T3. Git add dot git commit -m. E commit. Okay. Developer checkouts to master branch. He creates a commit he creates a file F3. Git add dot git commit -m. I'm creating one more commit called an F commit. As I'm now pointing to master branch, I go to git log. I want to see list of all the commits. When I write git log one line, I'm getting A commit, B commit, and F commit as expected. You're not getting the commits of child branch. I want to also look at the commits of my child branch. I check out to test branch. I go back to test branch and I write git log -- one line A, B, C, D, E. So this is a series of commits as expected. Okay. Now my point is, let's say I want to pick up only 2 commits, not all the commits. I want to pick up the C commit and I want to pick up the D commit. I want to selectively pick up only the 2 commits and I want to add it to the master. If you want to do that, first take a note of the commit ID. This is the commit ID, a unique number for every commit. I'm taking a note of the commit ID, copy. This is the commit ID which I want to pick up the C commit, and I also want to pick up E commit. Take a note of the E commit ID. Okay, so this is my E commit ID. I have picked up the commits which I want. Whenever you want to merge the commits, always point out to the parent branch. Always point out to parent branch, git checkout, go back to master branch and use the cherry pick feature to pick up the selectively commits. I have taken a note of the commits which I want to pick up. Now using the cherry pick command, I'm picking up, clearly mentioning that these are the commits which I want to add it. Friends, I repeat again, commits are nothing but you're handling the files using the commits. I hope you know that. I'm selectively picking up the commits and I'm adding it to the master branch. Which commits I'm picking up? Only the 2 commits which I'm picking up, and I'm adding it to master branch. It is done now. If I go to git log -- one line, please observe A, B, F, and as well as C and E are the commits. Technically speaking, C and E are the commits which are belonging to the child branch, and they are added at the top of the master branch, something like rebase. But the only difference between cherry pick and feature, the only difference between cherry pick feature as well as rebase concept is that cherry pick is used to only selectively pick up the limited commits, a number of commits, and add it to the master. That's the difference between rebase as well as cherry pick. So this you also know it now. Cherry pick feature is used to pick up the commits from the selectively pick up the commit from the child branch and add it to the master. I hope you have. I hope I'm very clear in explaining the concept of cherry pick feature. Okay, and it observation, it will not add it in the linear fashion. It will be added at the top. Okay, that's important observation. Next. Let's move on to the next concept. Let's move. It's all about handling the source code. Git is all about handling the source code, no matter how typical the requirement is. Okay, developers use there are some n number of commands which helps you to exactly manage the source code as per the requirement. So we have discussed about cherry pick features. So what's the next agenda for today's session? I want to discuss about amend. I want to discuss about amend, which is frequently used by the developers, which is very, very important from the interview point of view. So what is this amend? Where exactly developer will use the concept of amend? Okay, let's do that. Okay. Developer is creating a file, source code, as usual, obviously source code. It can be one file or it can be group of file, doesn't matter. So here developer is creating a file 1.java. Okay, it's a source code. Got it? Yeah. So once he has achieved a milestone, so what he'll do, he will move it into staging area. From the staging area, he'll move it into local repository by creating an A commit. So let's experience that. So he has created a file and he is creating a commit. Okay. I repeat again the importance of commits. Commits are nothing but a meaningful milestones. Commits are nothing but a meaningful milestones. When developer think that a substantial progress has been achieved, a meaningful milestone has been achieved, he marked that point as commits. Okay, so let's experience the A commit first. Let's experience the A commit first. So he will initialize it as a working directory. Fine. By default 1.java, I don't need to show that, it's an untracked files. He move it into staging area, immediately git commit -m, he moves into local repository by creating an A commit. Done. Again, client has given the requirements. Again, he creates one more file. Let's say creating one more file. Created second file. As you know, the second file is an untracked file. I hope you know that. It's an untracked file. Git add dot git commit -m is creating a second commit. Got it? Let's have a pictorial representation. He has achieved an A commit, and again he has developed a few more files of source code, and he moved it into staging area. From the staging area, he moved into local repository by creating a commit called as a B commit. Okay. Now, please observe. Right now, both the files 1.java, 2.java, everything moved into local repository. Now, if you see git status, everything is clean. The working tree is clean, so nothing to commit. Although every file is committed into a local repository. Fine. What happens when developer changes a committed file? He's not creating a new file. Obviously, we have only two files. One is 1.java, 2.java. What happens when developer makes changes to a committed file? For example, 2.java is a committed file. When developer makes some changes in the source code, let's say he's adding one line of source code. He's adding some line one of source code. He's adding one line of source code. The moment the source code is modified, please observe what happens. Git starts tracking it as an untracked file. The moment the source code is modified, it's considered as an untracked file. It's considered as an untracked file. So what the developer needs to do? Now tell me, as it is an untracked file, tell me what the developer needs to do. Developer should move it into staging area. From the staging area, he needs to move it into local repository. You know that. By creating one more commit called as C commit. Because already A commit and B commit is already done. Now he needs to create one more commit called as C commit. Agree? Isn't it? Because it's an untracked file. But the point is, when developer needs to create commits, tell me, when there is a meaningful progress, as part of developmental activity, then only he needs to create a new commit. But this time, in this case, it's not a meaningful progress. He has added only one line of code. For this one line of code, it's not a great progress. You don't want to create a new commit. Because it's not a great progress. He has just maybe created one additional variable, or he has commented a particular code, made few changes, which is not a great progress at all. He don't want to create a new commit. Instead, he wants to amend the changes to an existing commit only. What do you mean by amending? Amending is nothing but adding the changes. Agree or not to an existing commit? We come across a statement saying that the income tax rules have been amended. Okay, in the same rule, the new points will be amended. In the same way, we don't want to create a new commit. Instead, he wants to make the changes in the source code amended to the existing commit. So he wants to amend the changes to the B commit only. He wants to amend the changes to the B commit. He don't want to create a new commit. Okay, so when he amend the changes to a new commit by using the git amend feature. Now here, developer don't want to create a new commit. Instead, he wants to amend the changes to an existing commit. This is the command whenever you want to amend the changes to an existing commit. Now here in my case, I have two commits, A commit and B commit. It's an untracked file. I want to amend the changes to an existing commit. I want to amend the changes to B commit. Obviously, it will be the latest commit. Git commit -amend -m and mention the commit to which you want to amend. I want to amend to B commit. Clear? So first move it into staging area. Git add dot file gets moved it into staging area, and he will move it into local repository. But instead of creating a new commit, I want to amend the changes to an existing commit. A very meaningful option, isn't it? So mention to which commit you want to amend the changes. That's it. Git status, everything is clean. Git log hyphen one line. So he has a getting A commit and B commit. So like this, when it's not a great progress, but still the source code is modified, he wants to commit that updated modifications into the local repository. Instead of creating a new commit, amend is a very frequently used task by the developer. Am I clear? Am I clear in explaining how exactly amend is used by the developers to add changes to an existing commit? Okay, clear about this? Yes. So let's have a quick question. Naveen, good evening.
Hi, Hasni. How are you?
Doing well, Naveen. How are you doing? Clear about the concept of amend feature, which I've just explained?
Yes. I have one doubt.
Yes.
Actually, can we create a multiple branches like we have the master and then test? Under the test also, I can create one more
Yes.
chain.
Your question is, can we have a child branch, and for the child branch, can we have one more child branch? Yes, it is possible. Nested branching is always possible. Okay. The rule, the concept remains the same, whether it is a immediate child or child to a particular child, the concept remains the same. Okay.
And you said that regarding this amend, they made some changes in the file B. Okay.
You have made some changes in the
File B, and we have committed.
so not file B. B is commit name.
Commit, yeah. So we have made a changes and we have committed we have made some amend. Okay.
We have made changes to the file, let's say 2.java or any file, and then he have amended the changes to an existing commit instead of creating a new commit. Yes.
So if somebody come back and ask us like, no, I didn't do this commit. So how can they show the proof for them? Like,
repeat again. If
so
someone
suppose B is committed yesterday and somebody changed the file and
no,
they
it's not somebody. It is in your personal laptop. Local repository is within your laptop, Naveen. It's local to a developer. So he is responsible for it. Okay. Did you understand? It's not a common location. It is specific to his particular responsibility. Clear, Naveen? Even local repository is individual developer's mission. Okay. So he's responsible for all the changes. Okay. Misuse. Okay. Okay. Elaine, how are you doing? Are you also from Canada? I can see your hand raised. Yeah, I can hear you, Elaine. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Sorry, maybe I raised my hands by error. I didn't raise it intentionally.
Okay, you're from which location?
I'm from US. I'm in USA.
Okay.
Please, okay, let me just ask this. I was trying to join the AWS session also, but I don't know how to get to that. I wrote you in an email, but you haven't replied me yet.
You want to join the new AWS batch, am I right?
Yes, right.
Yeah, you will get the information in the WhatsApp group. Okay, in his ways, it is scheduled just for your information. It is scheduled on 10th. Okay, so you will get the update, Elaine. Don't worry. Okay.
All right.
You also get the information about the Zoom registration link.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So we have discussed about the amend feature, which is very, very important. Let's move on. Let's experience how can we in the sense developer go back to the previous versions of the source code when client happily says that please ignore the new requirements and then go with the first requirements and then move it into production. Okay, so it's very important to go back to the previous versions of the source code. How developer will use Git to go back to the previous versions of the source code, and I'll show you practically. Let's start from the scratch. Okay. Let's say I'm a developer. Let's say I'm writing some source code. Let's say line 1, line 2. It can be 5 lines or 500 lines, doesn't matter. So saving it as, let's say, 1.java. Perfect. Let's say I'm a developer, has got a requirement as per the client requirement. I have created 5 files, and each file is having 5 lines of code. We have observed it, isn't it? So this is a code which has created as per the client requirement. Now, what's the next duty of the developer? Obviously, as you expected, he convert the folder into working directory. He moves it into staging area. From the staging area, he moves into local repository by creating a commit called as a commit. So let's experience this part first. Okay, let's do that. Git init. Every file is an untracked file. You know that. I'm moving into local repository by creating an a commit. Okay, fine. Next, client has continued giving new requirements. Client has continued giving the new requirements. When client gives the new requirements, obviously developer creates the new source code. Obviously developer creates the new source code. Okay. Subhasini Sahu. Can you hear me?
Hello, Sunil.
Yeah, Subhashini. Before you asking me a question, is this clear what we have done just now? I have created files, 5 files. Each file is having how many lines of code, Suhasini?
5 lines of code.
5 lines of code. All the five files are moved into staging area. From the staging area, moved into local repository by creating an a commit. Okay. Now, on the next conference call, maybe client has given the new requirements. To satisfy the new requirement, developer is now creating few more files. Let's say right now he's creating again line 1. Eight lines of code he's creating. This time he names it as 6.java. .java. Suhasini, these two new files, 6.java and 7.java, files which are created to satisfy the client new requirements. Am I right? He created new files as well as he modified the existing files.
Yes.
Okay, he also modifies the existing source code to satisfy the new requirement. He creates 3 more lines of code. So he changes the 4.java. And he modifies the 5.java file also. So how many files are being created? 6.java, 7.java, the 2 files which are created, and 2 files has been modified as per the new requirement. When the 2 files has been created and 2 files are modified, total all the 4 files are considered as an untracked files.
Yes.
Can you see here 6.java, 7.java is an untracked file. Even modified files are also considered as an untracked file. So what he needs to do now, as he has updated the code as per the client requirements, he moved it into staging area. From the staging area, developer moves it into the local repository by creating a next commit called as b commit. Isn't it, Suhasini? Am I clear?
Yes.
Okay, so let's do that. Git add dot git commit hyphen m. I am creating what commit? B commit. Now total how many commits as of now? Git log hyphen hyphen 1 line, A commit as well as B commit. Got it, Suhasini?
Yes.
Now, in the next client, in the next call, client says that we are not happy with the new, we don't want the new requirements. Customer is always the boss. He happily says that we don't want the new requirements. He's happy with the requirements given in the previous meeting. He's happy with the requirements given at first call, not the new requirements. Okay, they want to, they are happy, they are stable with this new requirement. They do not want the updated requirements. They are happy with the previous requirements. So what the developer needs to do, he needs to roll back the source code to an A commit. Agree, Suhasini? That's nothing but I remember it's 5 files and each file is having 5 lines of code. Agree? To that status, he wants to roll back his code. It's very difficult to modify the files and then delete the lines what he has edited, isn't it? It's technically, practically impossible. So Git helps to go to the previous versions of the source code by using the commits. As you know, commits are nothing but a meaningful markings given for the milestones. Now he can roll back to the previous versions of the source code using the command called git reset -hard. To which commit you want to roll back to, Suhasini? Developer wants to roll back to A commit. So I'm taking a note of a commit ID. I'm taking a note of a commit ID and I am clearly mentioning that I want to roll back to that particular A commit. Please experience the change. I am rolling back to that particular commit ID, Suhasini. Okay. Now if you say git log -- one line, there is only one commit, and go to your working directory. Your working directory is having how many files? Only 5 files, and each file is having how many lines of code? Only 5 lines of code. Did you successfully roll back to the A commit? Isn't it? You are not able to see 6.java as well as 7.java, and the modified files are also been replaced to that particular A commit. Did Git helping the developer to roll back to that particular status of the code, Suhasini? That is how version controlling can also be done by Git. That's why it's also called as a version controlling. Clear, Suhasini?
Yes.
Yes, your question now.
Actually, I had a very silly question, but just now it got cleared. That I was having a.
Tell me your question and how it got cleared.
It was a very silly question that I thought that previously the number of files are equal to the number of commits, but
no. Commits are nothing but, Suhasini, commits are nothing but a milestone, a meaningful milestone developer has been achieved. To achieve that milestone, he may create 1 file, he may create 10 files, he may create 100 files. Agree, isn't it?
Yes,
so together that is accomplishing a particular milestone. So he marks that as an A commit. Got it, Suhasini? So don't think that one file, for our understanding quickly, I'm creating file 1 and creating a commit, but it's not the case. One behind a commit, there can be a number of files. Clear?
Okay. One more question, Sunil. I am a fresher. I have just completed my BTech on 21. Can I proceed with just AWS DevOps?
Definitely. There are many freshers who are learning latest technologies like AWS and DevOps rather than selecting traditional technologies like Java or .NET. It's always recommended to get the latest technologies, which helps you to increase your profile value. Okay, Suhasini?
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Perfect. So we already have learned how can we roll back to the previous versions of the source code. Okay. Next, let's get exposed towards remote repository before moving on to remote repository. Raghu Raman, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
How are you doing, Raghu?
Sir, nice. Good.
Am I clear about explaining where exactly how exactly we can developer performs rollback feature? Yes, and how exactly amend is used by the developers when they won't want to create a new commits, when he wants to make the changes amended to the existing commit. In that case, amend feature is used. Am I clear about how exactly?
Yes, sir.
Developer uses the tool called Git for managing this source code.
Yes, sir.
Yes, your question.
Sir, my question is pickup comments, sir.
Cherry pick feature.
Yes, sir.
Yes, tell me.
Sir, by using pickup commits, we are moving the commits from child to master branch, no, sir?
You're right.
Sir, we can move the commits from master to child by using pickup commits. Can we? It's possible?
There is a different command. Not cherry pick is only from child to parent. Okay, not to parent to child. Okay.
Okay.
There's a different command. So there are a lot of commands. We don't need to worry about this. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Anuj. Good evening.
Hello.
How are you doing, Anuj?
I'm good. I'm good. I would like to ask one thing. What happen if we run the amend and that corrupts the source code?
Whatever the state, you're talking about amend, right?
Amend.
When developer changes the source code, let's say he is adding just a couple of lines of source code, Anuj.
Yep.
That is considered as again as an untracked file. Am I right?
Right.
And developer's responsibility is to move his files to the local repository. Okay.
Correct.
Whether
correct.
he is adding the new lines or the reverse case, he's removing some lines. Okay. That is purely responsibility of developer to make sure that the source code is perfectly working. Okay. So where whatever the status of the file, that will be moved into the local repository. That's
okay.
It. Okay. Am I clear?
So that means while having an amend, he creates a copy of it.
He's not creating a new copy. Old file will be replaced with a new file.
Right. But if he runs an amend and amend corrupts the that file,
amend does not corrupt the code.
Okay. It going to just stick
it
on
just
the behind of that.
To the exactly.
You're okay. So after amending, if my source code behaves in a weird manner, we can roll it back.
You can roll back. That's all in your hand. Whenever you want, you can roll back. Okay.
Thank you very much, Shashank. Actually, we joined in the middle of the course, so we are yet to watch the previous videos.
Please go back to previous videos and go through it. Okay?
We are trying our best to get in that, but in between our shift starts and then we are stuck somewhere. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. You are very kind, and I have requested that once the new batch begins, allow us to just
you can repeat this. So you can repeat the first 1 week of training in the new batch. Okay. Anyways, you get the updates in the WhatsApp group. I hope you are in the part of the WhatsApp group. Okay?
Exactly. Please carry on. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Please drop your hand once you're done with your question. Next, let's experience the concept of remote repository. Many are obvious to know about this concept of Git. Many may have questions. What is the difference between Git and GitHub? There's no meaning in comparison with Git and GitHub. So let's understand this terminology called GitHub and let's understand the terminology called remote repository. Anuj, can we have a talk again?
You're saying something?
Yeah, can we have a talk if you don't mind?
Yeah, please.
Okay. For a project, do you think there will be one developer or group of developers?
The group of developers.
Okay. Assuming that 3 developers are working on a particular project. Developer 1, developer 2, developer 3. There can be 3 developers or 10 developers, doesn't make any problem. Okay. Let's say web application. Okay. Let's say all the 3 developers are involved in web application. So developer 1 is working with some login page. He's working with registration page.
Right.
So he is involved in these 2 pages. Developer 2 is involved in, let's say, contact us page, and then he's involved in developing the services page. Okay, so he's involved in building a chat box of that particular application for customer care. Okay, so let's say developer 1 is creating some 100 files. In his laptop. Developer 2 is also creating some 100 files in his laptop. Developer 3 is also creating some set of files for his as per the requirement. Okay. Now the point to, I hope you know. What developer will do? He moves the files. By default, every file is an untracked file. He moves the file into staging area. From the staging area, developer 1 moves the files into the. All the files created by developer 1 will be available in their corresponding local repositories. Developer 2 is having its corresponding local repository. Developer 3 is having corresponding local repository. Okay,
correct.
Perfect. But if you want to deliver the entire project to the client, Anup, if you want to deliver the entire project, it's not total how many source code. There should be one common location. There should be one common location where, let's say in our case, 100 plus 100 plus 100 total 300 files should be available in one centralized location. Am I right, Anup? Because you want to deliver the entire project to the client, there should be one centralized location where every developer will upload these files into the common centralized location. This common centralized location is referred as remote repository. Remote repository. An example
is it both same remote repository and GitHub?
Example of a remote repository is GitHub. Okay. GitHub is one example of. GitHub is one. There are many repositories. Every company will have their own remote repositories. The popular remote repository of Git is what? GitHub. So once the developmental activity is done, all the developers, what all the developers will do, Anuj, every developer will upload their code into the
GitHub.
So GitHub is a one centralized location where the entire source code of the entire project is.
So that means tried and tested code is always moved. That means tried and tested code is always moved to GitHub.
Obviously, when the code is successfully, then only he move it into local repository. The code is available in the local repository, that is compiled and error-free code.
So that means whenever there is any amendment or any kind of modification need to be done, the local repository file is moved to the staging area, done some modification, then back to the local repository.
Staging, untracked file will be moved into staging area. From the staging area, it will be moved into the local repository.
Local repository. For example, if I want to modify my local repository, first thing I need to move the local repository codes to the staging area, modify it, and
this is what? This is what? Untracked files.
Untracked files.
First status of file is untracked. Okay. I think you have missed the beginning classes.
That's why I'm. I have a little bit of idea of software development. I studied in BTech.
Okay, fine. So I hope you are understanding now. So he moves into staging area. From the staging area, local repository. Now every developer will upload the files into the remote repository. So the remote repository of Git is GitHub. Okay, thank you, Anuj. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
So I will show you how exactly the developer will upload the code into the remote repository. The remote repository of Git is GitHub. Okay, so I'll show you how to upload the file into the GitHub repository. I already have a GitHub account. I already have a GitHub account. As I already have a GitHub account, I can log into GitHub account. If you're not having a GitHub account, please go ahead and sign up. Creating a GitHub account is very, very simple. Creating a GitHub account is very, very simple. So please enter your email address and enter your login password. Your GitHub account will be ready in no time. I already have a GitHub account, so I am signing into my GitHub. Authentication code, it generally does not do that. Maybe it is the first time. After a long time, I need to verify my email address for the OTP. GitHub verification. Generally, it will not ask me. Probably for the first time it is asking me. That's okay. I am verifying my email. Yes. I have logged into my GitHub account. Okay, so I'm signed in with Sunil DevOps 7. If you're not having GitHub account, GitHub account is very simple. It's something like a location where the source code is saved, like in your Google Drive, like how we are uploading my notes and my PPTs in the Google Drive. my recording in the Google Drive. In the same way, code is getting uploaded in some remote location that's called as GitHub repository. So how to upload the code into GitHub repository? Let's say first example, I'm creating a new repository. Repository is something like a folder, nothing strange or nothing special. Here we have an option of creating a new repository. I am creating a new repository in my GitHub account. Repository name can be anything. For example, let's say I'm writing it as a repository with today's date. Is it available? Yes, repository 3 is available. Just mention the repository name and create repository. Repository is something like a folder. You can say it as directories. The repository is available. In my account, the name of the repository is repository 3. So the repository is created in the GitHub. Am I? Once the repository is available, now I need to upload the code into the repository. How can I upload the code? You don't need to write the commands. GitHub provides me the commands. Look at this. Push an existing repository from the command line. Command line is nothing but the terminal. Whenever you want to push the source code from the command line, these are the commands. Just copy the commands. Okay. These are the two commands which you need to run if you want to upload the code from the local repository to the GitHub repository. First, git remote add. What it will do, it will link the local repository to the remote repository. Linking happens when you write git remote add command, add origin, mention the repository URL. This is the repository URL. So once you do this, the local repository will be linked to the remote repository. First, let's do that. The local repository is linked to the remote repository. Next, we have to upload the code. In that case, we have a command called git push command. Push command will help you to upload the code from the local repository to the remote repository. Here, it's not main. Instead, you have to write it as a branch name called master. Okay, just don't use main, use the word called master, which will help you to upload the code into the remote repository. Git push command will upload the code into the remote repositories. Let's experience the result of the git push command. It's asking me to sign in again. Probably it is using a different browser. It should work. Oh God, okay, got it. Let me sign in. Actually, the Chrome, I'm not sure why the Mozilla browser is getting used. One minute, please. Let me try again. I think we have a commit. I think pushing is linking is already done. I just need to run this push command. That's enough. It should not direct it to Mozilla. Instead, it should use Google Chrome. It should use, I'm not sure why this time it is using Mozilla, maybe probably. Okay, I'll do one thing. Give me a minute. Suddenly the user interface has been changed. The report repository has been created. You can see the repository which was created 6 minutes ago. This is the name of the repository. I will, let's do it one more time. Let's run this git remote add. It's already added, fine. Don't use main, please use master. I already have logged in this. It's using a browser, I'm not sure. It should use Google Chrome. I'm not sure why it is not using Chrome. It is using Mozilla instead. Authentication succeeded. Let's see the status of the git push command. Okay, looks like few browser issues. I am unable to show you how to push the code into the GitHub repository. Anyways, I'll show you tomorrow how can we upload the code into GitHub repository. Got it? So once with that, you'll understand how once the complete entire, when the entire source code is now uploaded into the GitHub repository, what could be the next step? Rajesh Revuru, good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening, Rajesh. So we had some issues uploading the code into the remote repository, Rajesh. Anyways, I'll show you how exactly it can be done in the next session, tomorrow's session. And Rajesh, I have a question for you. Let's say complete source code is now available in the GitHub repository. Okay. What could be the next processing the developmental activity?
The thing is like they can use the main branch for the all the people for all the developers. If
Okay.
you want to, or they can build the product and give to the
Exactly.
deployment.
Build the product and then create a artifact. Am I right?
Artifact. Yes.
Exactly.
And yeah. Yes.
So once the code developmental phase is completed, the next thing is to package the source code. No client wants a source code. What they want is a running application, isn't it, Rajesh?
Yes,
so
sir.
Once the code is developed, we will package the source code and generate a artifact. Could be a WAR file or jar file depending upon the technology, and that artifact will deploy it into the application servers like WebLogic so that the application goes live. Isn't it, Rajesh?
Yes, exactly.
So for this, building the tool, packaging the source code and generating the artifact, we will be using a builder tool called as Maven. Okay. So once the code is developed, the next part is packaging the source code and generating an artifact. That we'll discuss tomorrow about the cool tool called as Maven. With respect to build tool, we'll be considering an example called as Maven.
Okay.
I'll show you exactly how Maven is used in building an artifact. Okay, Rajesh?
Sure, sure.
Yes,
I have a small question.
Yeah.
The thing is, like from last 3 to 4 days, we worked on Git using the command line consoles. Like so many commands we learned and
exactly.
how a master, how the branch will work.
Yeah.
I hear like we can do the same. Yeah, we can do the same operation using some IDEs like VSS or Eclipse. So do we also learn something?
Not required, because it's developer role to use those Eclipse integrated tools, GUI. Integrated tools they will use those tools instead of commands, but we should learn from the commands perspective only, because we will not use those kind of tools. Rajesh.
Okay. I have last question, small question.
Yes.
As we using locally, we are using Git, and you told like there are GitHub similar to GitHub. There are some other online repositories.
Bitbucket is one.
Yeah, we company use Bitbucket. Can we merge? Means can we locally?
You can also do that. You can also do that. Okay, that's not okay. But the preferred repository for Git is GitHub. You can also use other repositories also, Rajesh. Okay.
And what about Stash, Sunil? Stash. What is Stash then?
Stash is one more feature of Git where we can hide the files. Okay. That's also, there are a lot of features. Okay. To this extent is enough, Rajesh. Okay.
Okay, Sunil. I'm very good with this.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. So we have one thing is pending. We will also learn how can we upload the code from the local repository, remote repository. That's our plan for our tomorrow session, and then we'll move on to package the source code and generating an artifact with respect to the build tool called as Maven. That's our plan for our tomorrow sessions. Please spend some time working with Git. Thank you and see you tomorrow. Bye everybody. Thank you.